Good afternoon and welcome to another of Maitland's vlogs. I thought it might be helpful just to explain that when I'm doing these, I do them with the intention of allowing people to just see things from a slightly different perspective in ways that may then help people understand things or manage things a little better for themselves and make life a little bit easier. It's my take on it. It is no truth. There's nothing sacred about it or anything. But I just seem to... I've always been a deep thinker. And so I've done a lot of thinking, particularly in my 12 and a half years nearly in Thailand with no work, because I've never worked here. So it's given me plenty of time to absorb life's lessons. So here I am, opposite our large fish pond. We have a small one immediately on the front of the house, but here's our larger one. And I'm going to talk to you today about what I think is an interesting subject, that is to say the subject of fairness. And actually, strangely enough, it leads on from the concept of expectations as well, because a lot of people expect life to be fair. And then they get really pissed off because life is so unfair. And that's true. But why do you think life should be fair? Well, it just should be. It just should be. No, life isn't about fairness. Life is about experience. And when we have unfair things happen to us, may be born into poverty, born disabled, or somebody, in my case, my partner died. Just all these things just aren't fair. But they happened. And having the attitude they aren't fair merely allows us to, it allows us to dip into self-pity often, which is not a good thing, because that all keeps us in a negative place and will keep us potentially, constantly, perpetually in a negative place, and we effectively then struggle to keep our head above water. Whereas if we can actually accept the truth, which is that shit happens, that it is designed that way to give us an opportunity to grow, that we are born into, say, difficult circumstances because that particular soul has chosen to attempt to overcome their circumstances, and they may or may not succeed. And it's no big deal because, frankly, you just come round and round and round again. No, I'm not a Buddhist. Reincarnation isn't actually anything to do with a particular religion, although Buddhism is one that recognises it. Christianity used to, until it was removed from the Bible some 1400 years ago. But it is a simple fact. I happen to be able to talk to spirit, and I can assure you we have many incarnations, and before we were human we had lots of others as different kinds of creatures as well. We can go through layers of consciousness and go higher and higher. But anyway, so my point is that if we can then see this life for what it is, it's an opportunity to experience what a friend of mine calls contrast, that is to say, the ups and downs, the good and the bad, but the bad in particular, in order to allow... I say bad, that's just a label. It doesn't help really calling it bad. Difficulties, if you like, or challenges. Challenges is probably a better way. Then it allows us to say, okay, I'm up for it. I am going to fight. I am going to overcome my difficulties. I'm not going to go into mine particularly again today. I often refer to them, but today I won't go into detail because I don't want the video to get long. The core thing is that whatever our life challenges are, big or small, some people take on more than they can chew, and others take on a big thing but determined to overcome it. Well, we're always trying to overcome it anyway. And there's no prize if we do or don't. It's just an experience. And when you take all that pressure and all that, I've got to live my life on purpose, and it's just shut the beep up and live life and be present to it and overcome your difficulties. I mean, God knows I'm Mr. Moaner. I have moaned so much about my life in the past, and I am not willing to drown in a sea of negativity and self-pity. I'm just not, because I want the best I possibly can. I'm committed to that 17 or 18 years ago. That is 18 this month. And I am going to have the best life I possibly can and to find happiness and fulfillment to the maximum of my potential in this life. That is something I committed to wholeheartedly. And I promise you I will do that. Does that mean it will be perfect and without difficulties? No, because of the need for that contrast in order to give us experiences. So I will always, no matter how positive I remain, I will always face challenges. But facing them with this positive expectation of growth and determination. In my case, I'm a very, very determined character. The other side of that is stubborn, yes. But with that, I can then view life in a different way, enjoy it in a different way, and come to accept the things that I can't change more easily, which gives me peace of mind. So that's my subject for today. Subject for today. I don't expect life to be fair, and you will not be disappointed. You are definitely going to be disappointed if you expect life to be fair. And by the way, we can actually go for fairness. In other words, there's no justice in society and everything. Well, that's fine. Humans can do whatever they bloody well want, individually and collectively. And if we want to fight for justice in society and for no poverty, that's great. But nothing's wrong. These are all just experiences. And I hope that when viewed from that slightly more peaceful perspective, you can actually approach it with a degree of calm and still determination to overcome it. That's our own will, and it's up to us what we want to make of life. We have freedom of will. We have free will. We can choose what we do with it. So now, go out and play. Thank you.